Welcome to day 8 of the Mindful Momentum Challenge. Today, we're exploring how you can turn everyday moments, things that you typically take for granted, into more meaningful ones. As a matter of fact, the next few days, we're going to be finding opportunities to help you to create more meaningful experiences with yourself and with others. You know how these days things can just kind of feel like a task or like you're on this treadmill just kind of going through the motions. We want to move from going through the motions to creating meaningful experiences and meaningful moments. I'm going to share with you 2 of the practices that I have been getting better at to help me with moving away from the motion and moving towards more meaning. The first one is a gratitude scan. We always talk about doing the gratitude journal or doing the gratitude jar, but how do you even come up with the things that you want to be grateful for? Well, a gratitude scan can help with that. It's like you're using a metal detector to search around and see what can I be grateful for in this moment. There are different types of scans that you can do, so you're not blindly out there kind of feeling it out. Literally, like I said, it's a metal detector where it's looking for things that you can be grateful for. The first scan that you do is looking around your physical environment. So just look around you and see what brings to mind something that you could be grateful for. Behind me, I have my bookcase and I have pictures up. I'm looking at a picture right now of my grandma. Immediately, I'm thinking to myself, okay, grandma is somebody that I can definitely be grateful for. Another thing I can pick up just from the bookcase, I love reading and I have had a wonderful library of books over my life. And I'm really grateful that I get to find new ideas inside of these books. Another thing that you can find in your physical space are just things that make your everyday life work better for you that you would sometimes take for granted. Comfortable chairs and great cushions that you use to help your back when you're sitting down. And it can be even having a desk or an office space that you can work from home now that working from home is a part of your everyday life. Remember that we're not looking for tremendous gestures. We're really looking for the simple things that actually make life a bit more livable that we oftentimes take for granted. So that's the first thing. Do a physical scan. The next thing you want to do is an emotional scan. And this emotional scan is going to be more around thinking of persons that you may have emotionally connected with over the last few days. So that will take some time, maybe a minute or 2, where you can just sit back, close your eyes for a moment, maybe do a little deep breath, and then think about persons who you may have encountered over the last couple of days. Immediately coming to mind for me are my daughters. One of my daughters, she loves to cook and she recently baked some chocolate chip cookies. And that just made me feel warm on the inside, just watching her cooking and making her cookies, which is something that she's loved doing since she was 7 years old. And look at us now, 10 years later, and she's still doing those kind of activities. So when I think about that, I am grateful that I get to experience her as she grows up. I'm grateful that I get to experience the wonderful gifts that she creates in her chocolate chip cookies. All right. The third area that you can scan for is your own personal growth. Think back to over the past few weeks. If we're at the beginning of the year, you can think back to the past year. What are the things that you have been able to do for yourself so that you can grow? Where have you actually seen growth in your own personal experience? Maybe it's your professional space. Possibly you took a new course recently that's given you a different level of certification that is going to allow you to access a bonus or to put more value when you set up your next contract. Scan for personal and professional growth that may have taken place and be grateful for those things. So that's what your gratitude scan does. Your gratitude scan has you look at your physical space, it has you look at relationships or emotional connections, and it has you look at your personal and professional growth for things that you can embrace as wonderful things that may have happened, that may seem small, and you may have just glossed over them, but they are ways that you can create a meaningful moment. The second practice is one that I am getting better at. And I say I'm getting better at it because the practice itself, I'm all right. But the part that is always tripping me up is remembering to do it. And that is reframing. Reframing is powerful because you can use this process to help turn moments in your life that went sideways into something more meaningful, something that you can learn lessons from. I'm always talking about the taxi drivers. I know when I'm stuck in traffic and I have to deal with the taxi drivers, swinging in front of me too soon or breaking up to pick up passengers and doing so in not an orderly a way as I would like. I always use those examples because sometimes when you think about things that happen that frustrate you or agitate you, it's hard to find the meaningfulness in those moments. But let's think about maybe being stuck in traffic. I actually now appreciate being stuck in traffic because I listen to books as well as read physical ones. And right now I'm geeking out on a book about YouTube. And so whenever I get stuck in traffic, I'm like, okay, I get to move forward some more in this book. Or another thing that I like to do when I'm stuck in traffic is I like to listen to some of my YouTubers while I'm sat there stuck in traffic. And that's something that you can do. If you can't watch this video, you can always listen to it. There are just opportunities in these moments that would typically make us very frustrated that we can turn into something more meaningful. So traffic for me has now become catch up with my favorite books or favorite YouTubers time. And it's something that I cherish because it's also a space where I get to learn and grow. So how can we cement this further? We can cement the opportunities that you are going to take out of your everyday life and turn them into meaningful moments by creating a meaningfulness journal. This is very similar to a gratitude journal because now you're going to be looking for things that have meaning, which are also sometimes things that you are grateful for having experienced. So get out a piece of paper or grab your journal. I've put a link again to my journal in the description, and just write down 3 things, 2 things, 1 thing that you can scan in your physical space or in a past experience with someone or with professional or personal growth, or with something that may have happened in your day that you are going to be able to reframe into a more meaningful moment. Little steps like these and little habits like these are great ways to ensure that you are not being dragged through life, but that every day gives you an opportunity to live with a little bit more joy. And that joy, that energy will allow you to manifest the dreams that you're after far more quickly. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to subscribe and remember to share with your friends. Keep growing and keep glowing while you do so. Until next time.